Believe we should be on now. Hello, everybody. This is Leave It Alone, a small indie game by a company named Eternity. Redusek is actually already in the chat. That's one of the developers. So everybody say hi to Redusek. Say thank you for making a very good game. I also can hear own stream. So sorry about that. So in this game, you're just picking up leaves. Like Glitch said in the intro, I like to call this a yard work simulator. There is some tech, but you're not going to really see it on the surface because a lot of it has to do with the upgrades and the pathing. Now, before I start here, it was already mentioned in the chat, show the nerd guy who's boss. This is what they were talking about. The world record holder for this game is far and beyond the skill of any other player in every category. You can see here, he's got 3 minutes on all leaves and all objectives. It's kind of the same thing. He's insane. He uses a skip called bag skip, which, surprise to everybody, I'm going to be attempting today, but I don't expect it to go well because it is insanely hard to do. You basically have to make a perfect line from the start of the shed here to the garage, because the way we get in the garage is we have to run underneath the door before it closes on us. So to do that, you have to kind of clear out certain areas of the game, and by doing so, you'll get upgrades, and I'll explain more as we go. So, if you want to get the time started glitched, it's going to start basically when I'm going to hit new game, we're going to spam through some text, and then a journal is going to pop up. So, basically when I get control of my character, it's going to be right away. After the black screen fades away, we can start time. So, I'll try my best to signal that to you. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started here, and I'll just try my best to explain while we get going. Yes, we are going to attempt a skip run. I don't think it's going to go well, but I want to show off the glitch because this is probably the only glitch in the game, and Redusek has kept it in because it is so hard to hit. You have to basically have a perfect line. So we're about to start time here, and we are going to go. So we're going to buy this little inlet here, which you saw sucked in some leaves. So that's going to get us enough cash to get that first upgrade that you just saw. Now, that first upgrade, it's called a greedy upgrade. It makes it so that you can grab more than one leaf at a time. As you can see, I am picking up 2 at a time. I hit my 50 bag limit, and I got to go dump them off, and I earn money for it. Each leaf at a baseline is worth 0.4 cents. And already, I have lost some time. Now, you might be wondering, how the hell have you lost any time? It's because every time I click, in theory, you want to be able to pick up as many leaves as you are allowed to. So since I just got another 50-cent upgrade, I can now pick up 3 leaves at a time. And that middle one that I just bought there for 25 cents, if you can hear the pacing, it will increase the speed at which you pick them up. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so why didn't you buy the speed one first? There is a chart somewhere, I think, in one of the discords for this game, because there's 2 channels for this game in separate discords, where somebody charted out like the maximum leaves per second that you can pick up, because as you see in the bottom left, there's a little counter there that's kind of going up and down. Like 4.5 right now, 5.6.2, you know, that is leaves per second. And you want that maxed out as much as you can to get the most potential out of your upgrades. Now, right there, I bought a bigger bag, so now we can have 200. There's so much I want to say about this game in terms of helping you guys, because there is a speedrun achievement in this game to do it under 40 minutes. The estimate for today is 30 minutes, and my PB, which I, again, in marathon spirit from yesterday, I just set like half an hour before the run, is a 23:10 in any percent, and that's without using the bag skip. So, you can still get a very good time without utilizing the hardest trick in the game, which might deter a lot of casual runners from even picking it up or even attempting the achievement. But I know a lot of people are achievement hunters and they're not speedrunners, so Now they have to kind of change their whole tactic up. Like, okay, I like to come on this game, turn my brain off, pick up some leaves, but now there's this one thing that's bugging the shit out of me, and I can't figure out how to do it. Let me go watch the world record. Oh, the world record's doing this bag skip thing that I can't figure out how to do after an hour of trying it. So I'm just here to let you all know, if you are watching this in the VOD or the YouTube, whatever, that you can get that under 40 achievement without doing the bag skip fairly easily. I know I'm going to be going fairly quick here, and you guys might not be able to copy exactly what I do if you are watching this as a tutorial later on down the line, but as long as you kind of follow the basic guidelines of trying to maximize your clicks, especially in the beginning on porch, driveway, and in the basement here. Boom. So we got a 330 porch there, not the greatest. Then you should be able to get the achievement. Now, really quickly, there is another mechanic in this game that we can click, as you can see above, ooh, I missed the bag. Above the progress bar on the left there, we can hit V, and we can actually gray out leaves that are not in the area that we are standing in. I also completely forgot that I'm going to try the bag skip. So, glad I didn't make that bag. Here's how the bag skip works. You need two. Throw one down. Take the second one. Put it on top. Make sure it ain't moving. Sometimes I like to bring it back a little bit and kind of place it on top, let it slide back. So it is not moving. As you can see on this little TV here, the garage door is going to open up when we hold this button. And now we need to make a beeline. The bottom bag, it's going to shift us up over the porch, and then we're going to try to make the best line we can and see we didn't make it. So we're going to go back, try that again. I'm going to give this 2 more attempts, and then we're going to get on with the run, because this can get out of hand pretty quickly, and this is more or less to just show you guys the only skip in the run. Other than that, everything is very accessible. This speed run is very beginner friendly. In fact, I don't think I have ever met more people that have never speedrun a game in my life than in this Leaf community, and it's a wonderful thing. Also, look at that. My bag setup didn't even get screwed up. But it's awesome. Everyone's like, hey, I'm trying to get this speedrun achievement. How do I... What's that timer on your screen? Like, what's all this? Yep, okay. Well, no bag skip today. Sorry, guys. We tried. But you basically just need to get an absolute perfect line. And as you can see, a lot of those attempts probably looked pretty good. And to me, they looked pretty good too. I actually kind of thought I would break through on one of those, especially that last one. But if you draw a straight line from the corner of that button to, you know, like right here, the efficiency that you need to walk that line is probably like 98%, if that makes any sense. So, back to explaining the normal route of the run. To actually get there and do what I just did without doing the bag skip, we have to clear either the driveway, the court here, or the front yard back there where we were trying to vault over the porch. In doing so, as you can see, again, right underneath the progress bar, I'm going to be awarded more movement speed, 0.2 meters per second to be exact, and that boost will give us enough to walk around the porch and still make it in the garage and onto the basement in the back, because that is how we progress. Now, I made a little whoopsie there. As you can see, I had enough for an upgrade, but since I'm yapping, I wasn't really paying attention to my money. In this game, a big part of learning how to go fast is memorizing the upgrade paths and deciding what is the best one to take. Now, like I already alluded to before, you might be more inclined to take the middle upgrades, and I actually missed a bag throw there, so I'm going to walk over and put that in, and I'm going to dump off some leaves because we can get ahead on the upgrade schedule with more money. Actually, I missed an upgrade way before. And this. I'm all over the place right now. Sorry, guys. So don't watch this. Don't watch this run if you're looking for a tutorial. I think I'll have to make a more in-depth video about that a little bit later, but you want to have a very optimal upgrade path, and right now I do not have that. So like I was explaining before, there is a graph or a chart out there that somebody made in one of the discords that shows that if you buy the greedy upgrades over the dexterity upgrades, you will pick up more leaves per second than if you were to have more dexterity over greedy. It feels counterintuitive, right? Because you're literally picking up leaves faster. But the fact of the matter is that more leaves per grab equates more leaves per second in this game. And the reason that we do driveway is you can see right here, there's a lot of leaves packed into this one tiny little space. There's about 3,000 leaves that's on this little bit of cobblestone pavement here. The same is true for the front yard over there where we were trying to get the bag skip done earlier. But the leaves are not packed together enough. I keep missing these throws. I'm sorry, fellas. And ladies. But you want them a little bit more closer together because of the whole maximizing efficiency stuff, right? If you are pointing the cursor like in piles like this, I'm basically getting my maximum pickup every single time. And we just finished that, so now we are on to... Oh my goodness. This is the front yard. We're going to buy this bag, and now we're actually going to go into the garage. Picking up leaves along the way just to get some extra cashola. We will be going back for both the rake and the leaf blower later in the run, just not right now, because the basement is kind of self-contained. And we don't really have any use to bring the rake or the leaf blower down here. So, we go pick this up first, we get a bunch of money, and also we kind of, we need this to unlock the roof, because, or I'm sorry, the shed. The shed unlocks the pool unlocks the greenhouse unlocks this vent next to me on the wall, which is the end of the game. So it's kind of just like that's why we do the game, the areas in the order that we do them in. Simply because of, you know, this unlocks that unlocks this, which is why the bag skip exists in the first place, right? Because technically we don't really need anything outside of the porch, because the porch gives us the ability to tie these bags, which I might have glossed over in the beginning during all my ranting, so sorry about that. And also, I would like to get ahead of this now. Sorry I'm not looking at chat as much as I would like to. As you can see, I'm keeping my cursor very active, trying to stay on the edge of the leaves, because when you kind of stay here and make a hole in the middle of the pile like this, you see how there was like that one leaf right there? I already picked it up, but it was kind of on its own. That goes back to the thing about maximizing your efficiency, where now I have maximum upgrades. You can hear how quickly I'm picking up these leaves versus before. And if I am, like right here, that one leaf, those two leaves pickups that I'm getting, that's technically time loss because it's not as efficient as I can get it. And the best way to mitigate that, like I said, is to try to keep your cursor on the edge of the pile, but also to try to not walk on them as much. As you can see, I'm trying to not stand on leaves that they're obviously not picked up yet. I'm trying to just not disrupt them, because all of these leaves are, they're not randomized, okay? Every time you load into this game, the same red leaf will be in that left corner over there. Or like the same brown leaf is going to be on a bench that I will point out later, because it is the most infamously missed leaf in this entire game. I think everybody on their first playthrough had to go back through the greenhouse once and look at that brown leaf on the corner of the bench and be like, oh, well, would you look at that? And it's always there. So these aren't randomized, which gives the speedrun a bit more consistency. You can memorize, like right here, I know in the front corner of the basement here, it's pretty dense. And just, you know, I have about 132 attempts in the any percent category, a bunch more in all leaves and all that stuff, so after a while, you kind of pick up on where the thin areas are and where the thicker areas are. And speaking of thin areas, we're about to come up on a very thin area in the shed. We're going to buy the rake, go inside, go behind the ladder because these leaves are a pain. And this is what I mean by a thin area. You see how, like, when I'm picking up leaves, it's immediately bare ground underneath? I left a lot of singles there. Kobe! Thank you, Kobe. Those two, right? Time loss. That's time loss. But also, since it's such a thin layer of leaves on the ground, you kind of have to keep a very active cursor. You got to keep moving to keep up with how fast-paced you're picking stuff up with the maximum upgrade. Kobe. Hands. Thank you, Kobe. And even thinner up here. The receding hairline is real with this shed leaf. So I might maybe be a bit quieter during this part just because I'm trying to focus and hit my shots. Kobe. Thank you, Kobe. I guess that was more of a pitch than a basketball shot. Who can we throw prayers up to? Nolan Ryan? Is he problematic? I can't remember anymore. So one more thing that I kind of forgot to touch on that is very important is you want to work front to back. What do I mean by this? Well, in the shed, or I'm sorry, not the shed, the basement, you saw me book it to the back of the room, and I was walking all over the leaves, and you might be saying, like, well, you told me not to walk on leaves, so why are you doing it? It's simply because you have to throw, in the basement specifically, right, you have to throw the bag into the bucket, which is at the top of the stairs, so you need to be over by the stairs. But once you throw the bag, like this, you want to be able to immediately turn and start picking up leaves again. I keep saying a big part of this, a big part of that. It's all big, right? It's all, every mechanic is very important. Another important mechanic that you should try your best is to, like, always be picking up leaves no matter what. Hey, I golded that shed segment. Half a second. Awesome. Now we get to rake. Jump down in the pool, grab that. Boom, boom. This is where the upgrade path becomes very important because you want a good rake. The rake, when fully maxed out, is like butter. Take note of how crappy it is working now. This has barely any upgrades to it. The reason why you want a good upgrade path is specifically for the area I'm doing right now. The edge of the pool is annoying, and you kind of need to walk at an angle like so that you don't get stuff like that little leaf that got left on the corner and I had to go back for. So I'm surprised I'm talking as much as I am, to be honest with you, because I recently changed from going around the pool clockwise to counterclockwise. And that's something else that you guys should be doing too if you decide to run this game, because there's more leaves on the side of the pool that I'm over right now than there are on the other side. So you will actually get to the split. You'll get to pool 1 split sooner. As you can see in the progress bar up there, there's a split in the 50% mark. So in live split, we have pool 1 and pool 2. That just signifies the 50% mark of the split, or of the pool. And you will get to that faster and have more money for the second half of the pool, which means more upgrades and faster raking. So the best way to think about the rake is just there is a downward force coming from your reticle down to the bottom of your screen, and the upgrades affect 3 different things. The middle one affects the width of the rake. The leftmost one affects the length at which you can aim. As you can see, I'm kind of aiming pretty close to my feet right now, but like the length will allow me to look more up like that and kind of get more leaves farther. And I believe the length will also make the leaves move more, but I'm kind of doing a fairly decent job. So it might be a little hard to notice at first, but you see how there's some kind of like this one right here. You see how that leaf didn't really come with me? That's the 3rd upgrade, the sticky upgrade. And between all the runners, it seems like we have different preferences as to how you buy these upgrades in the pool section. There's a guy that's somewhat new here. His name's Premixed Gen. He's cooking. He's got times right up against me. I think he was like 5th on the leaderboard that I pulled up there. He likes to take a lot more sticky upgrades versus the world record holder Nerd. He takes the middle upgrades, the width, a lot, because he is of the understanding that the more leaves that you move at once, obviously the faster they're going to go. Meanwhile, Remixed, you know, same thought process, right? Everybody wants to do that and move as fast as possible, but it's the stickiness that makes all these leaves just move. Like, you see how there's a couple on the edges there that I'm kind of having to go up for. If I had maximum sticky upgrades, those 3 leaves that I just raked in wouldn't really be a problem. So there is still some debate on what upgrades are the most optimal. That I might be blowing smoke up you guys' ass there. Because if you ask Nerd, he'll probably say, no, it's definitely the way that I do it. But at the same time, when Premixed came back around and he dropped a PB and we watched it, he was like, hey, the sticky upgrades, his rake was moving. So, to a point, the rake upgrades are sort of a preferential thing. But just like picking stuff up with your hands, right? You kind of want to follow like a good upgrade path and watch a couple of the top runners like me, Nerd, Nonkel, Premix, Luna. Watch us and see how we all do it. We all do it a little bit differently. It's always good to learn from people that are faster than you. You know, monkey see, monkey do. So, the reason we're doing the swings now, crouchability. We can't get into that little vent thing in the basement without being able to crouch. And also, I hate this swing. It is horrible. The first time you play this game, you're going to be yelling at it to move out of your way. Thankfully, I kind of got it under my back there, so it didn't really cause too much problems. And as you saw too, we walked up, we bought the vent. That's something that I think I forgot to mention. The vent that we buy, that I just walked up and bought, those suck in the leaves and they give us money. So it saves us from having to pick them all up, tie them in bags, and throw them in these waste bins here. So the fastest way is to just rake everything into a giant pile like we do and throw them in the air vent, because they just suck them up, instant money, whiz bang boom, speedrun strats. Something else that I'll mention now, because we are kind of getting towards the end of the run here. You might be wondering, well, are you just doing one level? This is the entire game right now. Recently, Redusek and Yashi have announced there's going to be 2 more maps coming to Leaf It Alone. We have no idea what they're going to be yet. They've been very tight-lipped, very tight-sealed. But we assume there might be a snow map coming. Aren't sure, we have no confirmation, but it's very exciting. This game is brand new, about 2 or 3 months old at this point, and the developers are very active in the Discord server. They love talking to us, they love hearing everybody's opinions. Very nice people, as I already mentioned. Redusek is in the chat, everybody say hi. And they've been so gracious to let us know that stuff's coming. Might take a little while, but if you like what you see here, buy the game, support the company. You know, it might fast track the new content more if they can hire not better, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come out of my mouth, some more graphical designers. I know the person who made the graphic model for the leaves actually came by my stream once and said, hey, what's up? So it's not just Redusek and Yashi in the Discord. Everybody that's worked on this game is extremely nice. The community is extremely welcoming. Everybody would love to help you out on your runs. PB posting is absolutely encouraged, and I actually just raked away that very problematic leaf there that I mentioned before. But yeah, if you enjoy what you're seeing, please stop by either the Eternity Discord or the Indie Speedrunning Discord that's linked on speedrun.com. We'd love to have you. We'd love to see if you can figure a way to get us all on the level of Nerd, the world record holder, because my goodness, does he have this record on lock. Now, I bought the leaf blower. Doing the final area. Time is going to end when there's going to be, I'm going to enter a little, that little crawl space down there in the basement. I'm going to crawl through some vents and I'm going to fall down a hole. There's going to be a, like a sound cue, like it's going to go boom. That's when the time stops, is during that big old boom. That we blow some air, some leaves into the air vent, just enough that we can buy the upgrades here. And just so you guys are aware, I am 2.5 minutes behind the PB that I just set. We are still plenty ahead of the 40-minute requirement to get the speedrunning achievement. So I'll say once again, if you're watching this and you don't have that achievement yet, it is not too hard. I would say the worst thing, besides learning how to, you know, rake and leaf blow efficiently and get your time really far down, is just, oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Oh, it's the bag throws. The bag throws are awful. As you can see, during driveway, I missed like 3 or 4 of them, and then I got pretty lucky on the top of the shed, and I didn't miss any of those. We thanked Kobe a couple of times, and he delivered us some nice baskets. But other than that, it's a very accessible game. I would say this is one of the most casual player accessible speedruns I've ever seen. I don't know if that came out correctly, but you guys get it. Like, this speedrun is for a casual player. Absolutely. Anybody can get into this. In fact, like I mentioned before, this is a lot of people in the Discord's first time speedrunning anything. I have set up like 2 or 3 live splits for first timers in the past couple of months, and it's awesome getting people into the hobby as a whole, and we can thank Redusek and Yashi for that. So just from a speedrunning standpoint, I'll say once again, everybody thank Redusek, a wonderful developer who loves speedrunners. And I'll say this too, there's an auto splitter for live split. I don't have to split, I don't have to start, it's all integrated, and Eternity themselves dropped the live split integration zip file. Seriously, in the Discord server, or I forget exactly where it is, there's a message that says, hey, we got live split support, download this zip file and bring the LLS into your live split stuff. They're great. They're so accommodating. They know who loves their game the most is the people that dedicate throwing, you know, 150 hours into picking up one property's leaf problem. So we're coming up on the end of the time here. I want to thank everybody once again for having me. I was here yesterday with some marker on my forehead. Might not recognize me. Sorry about that. I appreciate letting to show off this wonderful game. The community is wonderful. This is all about them. This is all about the upcoming content, and I just hope to get some more runners out of this. And time 2550 on my end. Not a bad run, not a bad run at all, especially for failing bag skip 3 times and having a bunch of missed throws in the driveway. But this is the story of the game. Kind of skipped over that part. The text in the beginning was saying, oh, I got a concussion and I woke up. And then you go down this little secret rabbit hole here. There's a lot of weird stuff happening. And there's the masterminds. That's why the logo of the game is a squirrel. That's why everything is all cutesy. The art is all, you know, done by hired people or Redusek. I'm not sure about that, but it's all, this is a labor of love. I love this game. I'm glad that the developers are putting their whole ass behind it, and the community. Thanks for having me. This was a wonderful run. This was a great showcase. I'm glad I got to say my piece.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And thank you for running this for us. Your commentary was amazing. Like we were saying in chat, like it is really hard to be focusing on like run tech while giving such in-depth commentary. And it really like kind of helped flesh out the game for people who aren't familiar with it, I think. So you did a great job, dude.
Yeah, I
And
appreciate
shout out
that.
to you, Redusek, for showing up to support my boy Scoob and, you know, just making an awesome game for us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, really quick before I go, I just want to shout out people in the community again. Nerd, Premix Jen, Nonkel, Luna, who found the bag skip, by the way. New runner Bran, new runner, oh my goodness, what's his name? Philip, I think. Yes, Philip. All of these guys are wonderful people. If you have questions, all top 5 runners on this rankings leaderboard will love to talk to you about the game and help you get your time down. So again, thank you everybody. Join the Discord's links in the SRC page, all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do. And yeah, shout out to the runners. I see y'all in chat as well. Thank you for supporting Scoob in the event. All right. Well, we're going to get set up for One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 new DLC with Nylan here in a moment. But before I do, of course, Scoob didn't shout himself out here just yet. So please, for my viewers and anybody else who's just popping in the stream, go follow our boy Scoob. Great speedrunner. Extremely good guy. I love this man. He's super goated at Budokai, this game here, tons of different licensed games in general. So I think he used to run like Kids Next Door, which goated series.
That's
obviously.
my magnum opus. Please go watch my Kids Next Door record.
Hell yeah, dude. So yeah, give Scoob a follow. Added him in the chat. His name's also in the title. But yeah, any final remarks, Scoob, before I switch on over to Nylan?
Good luck, Nylan. Good luck, Kiyuma. Nylan's going to be here for quite a while helping you out today. So just good luck to the rest of the runners, everybody. Thank you again for having me. I look forward to doing this again. Oh, and I might swap over to Budokai 3 pretty soon. Once I get that 27 on PS2, I'll be joining Adrian. Just a heads up. I'm going to put it out there. Yeah, he told me Z3 breakthrough is the way to go. So I guess that's what I got to do.